Hey folks, today I have the ASUS external Blu-ray disc writer up to 16 speed drive, and I purchased this myself in order to conduct a number of backups. So this is not a sponsored video, I just want to share my experiences with you, and I have to say from the get-go that I have been very impressed with the capabilities of this particular drive. So in the box you do get the drive itself along with the required cables, the USB 3.0 cable, and also a software CD that contains Nero backup and power to go. However, I have not been using that myself because I've just been using the standard Windows interface. So I have this paired with Windows 11, however it is compatible with any version of Windows from XP upwards, along with Mac OS. And it is a very simple plug and play product. You connect this to the USB cable, make sure you connect it to power as well, and Windows just detects it immediately. At least it did in my case. There was no additional work involved, no additional drivers to install or download. Like I say, just very simple. Some folks may wonder why it is that we even need a Blu-ray writer such as this in the modern age, especially since we have digital storage, cloud storage, flash drives, and all of these good things. What can we possibly need with this old style optical media? Well, what I would say is that all backup options have their advantages and their disadvantages, and I'm not going to slate those other options because they certainly are useful, at least for me. However, the thing with Blu-ray, the one advantage it does have is its reliability. Blu-rays themselves are incredibly reliable and can last up to 100 years, and I'm going to talk a little bit later about the M-Disc support that this drive offers, because if you go the M-Disc way, you can actually have backups that will last up to 1,000 years. So in terms of the actual robustness of the backup, I don't think there is anything that even comes close to traditional optical backup. But ultimately, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume you already know you want to get an external Blu-ray drive, and you're just thinking about which one is best for you. Well, I would say that this ASUS model is definitely a more premium example. So the 16 times read and write speed is a nice bonus here, especially if you have a lot of backups to make. Many other drives won't take you to that sort of speed. And the fact that this can be used with Blu-ray discs up to 128 gigabytes as well means that you're just going to have plenty of storage options. However, one of the more notable features of this particular product is M-Disc support. Now, if you are not familiar with M-Discs, that stands for Millennium Discs, and it is a special type of optical media, either in the form of a DVD or in the form of a Blu-ray. They're not the cheapest discs, but they are by far and away the most reliable form of backup for the consumer. The physical discs themselves have multiple layers of shielding, and they are rated, as I mentioned earlier, to last up to 1,000 years. Now, you don't have to use M-Discs in this particular drive. You can just use standard DVDs or Blu-rays. But at least having that option available, I think, is definitely something that makes this particular drive worth considering. However, it will do all your standard Blu-rays, DVDs in terms of reading them without any problems, your audio CDs. If you just want to watch a movie, you can do that here, or install some software and you need an external drive because your computer doesn't have one built in. Not many of them do anymore. Another thing I'm using this particular drive for is to rip my Blu-ray movie collection so that I can digitize that and set it up on my Plex server. But ultimately, I think the fact that this had M-Disc support was what really tipped me over the edge to choose this over some of the cheaper alternatives. But as I say, overall, I've been happy here, so yeah, I hope the video helped.